Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, despite the overwhelming evidence across the length and breadth of Ghana that President Akufo-Addo has failed to deliver on his lofty and deceitful promises, the president and his men still prioritize celebration of mediocrity over waking up to the reality that they have failed the Ghanaian people. It was the hope of many that the just ended 3-day tour would have afforded President Akufo-Addo the opportunity to showcase his so-called achievements in the Ashanti region. However, the president tour has ended, and inhabitants of the Ashanti region are still struggling to figure out why the president will carry an entourage of about 200 people and 70 V8 from Accra just to inspect ordinary and petty projects. In the estimation of the Ashanti region, these are projects that should ordinarily be in the domain of assembly members and never ever catch presidential attention. After 3 years in government, the people of the Ashanti region will not be asking for too much if they demand from President Akufo-Addo legacy and life-impacting projects. Friends from the media, as we witnessed during President Akufo-Addo's just ended tour, the president rather bizarrely expended millions of taxpayers' money on inspecting low-grade projects in a complete exercise of mediocrity laced with pomp and pageantry. As it were, President Akufo-Addo's attitude towards the Ashanti region, the MPP's World Bank, can be likened to that of a man and his proverbial old wife, whom he occasionally sees with no genuine show of affection. Akufo-Addo's recent tour was nothing but a complete waste of the taxpayers' money and an insult to the intelligence of the inhabitants of the Ashanti region. Ladies and gentlemen of the press, we in the NDC thought President Akufo-Addo was an expert only in the plagiarism of speeches. We never knew he plagiarizes projects too. Emphasis mine. Ladies and gentlemen of the press, we in the Ashanti region thought President Akufo-Addo was an expert only in the plagiarism of speeches. We never knew he plagiarizes projects too. A timber processing factory that was established in 2010, Milo Forestry Company Limited in Central Afram Plains, was recommissioned by President Akufo-Addo under the One District, One Factory program. The president must immediately answer the following questions in his attempt to expropriate this particular project. How on earth can a private company that was established in 2010 all of a sudden metamorphosed into a 1D, 1F program that supposedly started in 2017? What has become of the promise by President Akufo-Addo to build a brand new cornflakes factory for the good people of Central Afram Plains? Ladies and gentlemen, a house built with saliva would definitely be collapsed by the early morning dew. The One District, One Factory program by the One District, One Factory program has turned out to be the biggest scam that has ever been perpetuated on Ghanaians. And never again should we allow ourselves to be hoodwinked by such sugar-coated and empty rhetorics from political desperados. Friends from the Inky fraternity, without much ado, we will now proceed to list the legacy and life-impacting projects of John Dramani Mahama in the Ashanti region over the period he was president and challenge the Akufo-Addo government to do so. As far as markets are concerned, President John Dramani Mahama gave Ashanti Mine the KJTR Central Market, the Tafu Market, the Atonsu Market, the Asanwase Market, to mention but a few. This market collectively is supposed to provide a safe environment, trading environment for about 60,000 traders of Ashanti Mine. Water projects. John Dramani Mahama, under his watch, initiated the Mampong Water Project, the K3 Water Project, that is the Konongu Kumbawu Water Project, and the expansion of the Barikese Dam. These three projects cumulatively supply about 80% of the water needs of the Ashanti region. Senior high schools, President John Dramani Mahama gave Ashanti the Pakusu Senior High School, which currently admits 4,000 SHS students. The Dujama Senior High, which currently admits about 3,500 students. The Adubera SHS, which currently admits about 3,000 students. The Agre Kenzema SHS, which admits about 2,000 students. The Banka, Jaso Banka in the Ashanti Achem district, which currently admits about 1,500 students. And the Sioso, Offenso Sioso Senior High, which currently admits about 1,500. So cumulatively, these senior high schools built by John Dramani Mahama has created spaces for about 20,000 children of school going, SS going age in Ashanti. Hospitals. The 120-bed Kumawu District Hospital that was initiated by John Dramani Mahama has been left to rot by the MPP government. The 60-bed Tepa District Hospital, the 120-bed Komena District Hospital, the 60-bed Konongo District Hospital, and the 500-bed military hospital and 150 staff housing units that was initiated by His Excellency John Dramani Mahama has been left to rot under the Akufo-Addo government. Ladies and gentlemen, it is often said that to whom much is given, much is expected. We therefore wish to find out from President Akufo-Addo what he has got to show in Ashanti region against the backdrop that he has borrowed 80 billion in 3 years, collected 20 billion in taxes, and received 120 billion in the form of revenue from our natural resources in 3 years that he has been in office. I'd like to do a bit of expatiation here. President Akufo-Addo cumulatively in the last 3 years he's been in office has received 220 billion in revenue. He came to meet a debt overhang of 120 billion. He claims 6 billion has been expended on the free education. So he is left with an excess revenue of close to 96 billion. The multi-million-dollar question we are asking is, what has he got to show for this huge influx of revenue? On the few road projects inspected by the president, contractors packed out of sight immediately he left, citing lack of funds and proper contractual agreement. Ladies and gentlemen, if President Akufo-Addo and the MPP truly value the development of the Ashanti beyond relying on it as an electoral fortress, we would like to pose the following questions to the president. Where are the Sino-Hydro roads he promised the cool people of Kumasi? Where are they? Why is the Swami interchange that he spoke about some time ago in the State of the Nation? Why is the 1 million pen constituency that he promised Ashanti? Why is Ashanti's share of the 350 SHS he promised to establish after 18 months in office? Why is Ashanti's share of the Zongo Development Fund? Why has Arabic teachers under the Youth Employment Program not been paid for the past 17 months? Emphasis mine, I would like to emphasize on this point. When the NDC came, the National Youth Employment Agency was more or less a spineless and boneless entity because there was no legal backing and a constant stream of revenue flowing in. So in order to ensure sustainability, it was restructured and legislative backing was given it, and a constant stream of revenue was allocated for the salaries of the youth employment agencies. And the NDC brought in the youth in Arabic under the youth employment model to be helping educate the young guys in the Zongo communities. For the past 17 months, the youth in Arabic teachers have not been paid. So we are asking the president, why has the youth in the Arabic teachers under the youth employment agencies not been paid? Why did he not visit the KJTR Central Market traders to have a first-hand information on how the allocation process is going? Why did he not visit Obuasi to speak to issues of small-scale mining? We believe the president's answer to these questions will further reinforce and expose his deceitfulness and the ingratitude of the MPP to the Ashanti region. Indeed, President Akufo-Addo, while neglecting his party's World Bank and feeding it with peanuts, has not forgotten about his own backyard, which continues to receive the best of road network and other social amenities. It is certainly time for the World Bank to be appreciated with its fair share of the pie under the party that enjoys the lion's share of its electoral support. If President Akufo-Addo dreams that our people will be moved by sweet-sounding rhetoric and empty promises again, then he must have a rethink. This is because in 2020, he will be judged solely based on his abysmal performance in government. Finally, distinguished friends from the media, we wish to call on the people of this region not to despair, but to persevere in demanding what is due from a government they overwhelmingly place their trust in. Of course, we are aware of recent attempts to suppress legitimate public concerns over the stunted pace of development in the Ashanti region under this sterile Akufo-Addo government. We in the NDC will continue to hold this government accountable for their promises to the people of Ashanti Mine, and even as President Akufo-Addo remains on borrowed time to a humiliating defeat in the 2020 election.